Okay, mic's off. Here we go, guys. 30 seconds. Recording. Here goes.
Right, what's up, everybody? It's your favorite assassin. Alongside me is the one and only
Drax Mason.
And it feels good to be back on Hamilton Radio on the Lock Target Show.
Hey, man, we highly apologize for the absence in the past few weeks. Just a bunch of personal issues got us, but we're back. We're better than ever, and we're ready to kick some ass.
Yeah, and we have a special guest today.
Oh.
Who? It's the one and only
Donnie Jackson.
Come on, Donnie.
I could have done it a lot better, but that was all right, right?
All right. Get yourself situated over there.
Yeah, it's getting silly, you know. How's it going, guys?
All right,
What's up,
What's
Donnie?
up, Don?
Just surviving. That's about it.
Yeah, we feel you.
All right, Donnie. I'm glad you can join us. Number one, it's awesome to have you
Thank
on,
for
man.
having me.
And we just figured we'd have you on, get to know you, because prior to myself, getting involved in the business, I mean, you were around doing your own thing for a while, right?
Yeah.
What's your main role in the independent scene? What do you do?
Right now I'm just like a ringside manager. I'll, manage some of the indie guys and, manage like the headliners, like show it.
Yeah, you manage some big names, man.
Too
So-
many, It's Tommy Dreamer I work with from ECW.
Right.
Hey, man.
The Sandman, Just Incredible,
You manage Hacksaw, I believe, too, right?
Hacksaw
Yeah.
against Salvatore Sincere.
Tom Brady, the Patriot.
And fun fact,
Yeah.
Donnie has actually managed me with the Patriot at a recent SWS show that happened this past year. So, I mean, it's pretty exciting,
You
huh?
attacked me on a few shows.
Yeah.
Prior to that, just
Hey, man, the managerial wars with you and Medic were outstanding.
oh my god, yeah, he put me through a table,
You got
hit me
smacked with a crutch.
Yeah.
Nah,
It's like fun times, yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like, the funniest part about that moment was like when none of us knew the crutch broke until we looked at it.
Yeah.
What's funny is during that match, I honestly got about that part. I didn't know how hard he actually hit him until I saw a picture. You legit see the crutch being swung at Donnie, and the crutch is bent in the picture over his back. I'm like, and I'm like, wow, I did not realize this kid got hit that hard. I mean, did it hurt? I mean,
I'm not gonna say it didn't,
oh man. So Donnie, I mean, I'm not going to ask you how you got started, but what made you want to be in the wrestling business? I mean, everyone has their own different reasons why they get started, but what made you want to be involved in the business?
I've just been a wrestling fan, throughout my whole life, maybe like 3-4 years old, watching, guys like The Undertaker,
Right.
Tito Santana, D-Generation X, and it's just, I went through a lot of, stuff in my life,
Mm-hmm.
My teen years, and it just, I felt like, professional wrestling, growing up watching it, I felt like professional wrestling took away my life's
It was your outlet.
shattered
It was
pieces.
your outlet,
Exactly,
right? Yeah,
yeah.
that's understandable. I can actually, kind of relate, to certain similarities with that, that statement. I mean, what was like your most memorable match that made you really like, wow, I really want to do this?
Oh my God, there's like too many to choose from. I think it's just like the whole, general atmosphere of wrestling that, really made me want to get into it.
Right. That's good. Yeah. You got any questions for Donnie?
Not really too much, but also, like, how is it? Well, I don't have too
I
much
got
for it
plenty.
right
I
now.
just don't want. I don't want to shut you out. You're over here doing your own thing.
No, I'm not trying to do my own thing. I'm trying to go live on Facebook so we can all see the questions that the fans like to ask, so we don't
Gotcha.
have to keep looking
Yeah,
back
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. I
forth.
got you.
So, also, being the fact that you're in a managerial spot, I have to ask you, who, out of all the managers out there,
Good question.
from legendaries, who has to be your favorite?
Oh my God, that's like
That's good. That's a good
that's a
question.
good question. Guys like classy Freddie Blassie, he was a great manager. Um, there's like just too many to choose from. It's
Let me tell you mine. Now, a lot of people are probably going to say, "Oh, that's so obvious," blah blah blah. But no, Bobby Heenan.
oh,
For
yeah,
the
he was a
simple
great
fact
manager.
of
Yeah.
Yeah,
rest in peace, God bless his soul, and forever impact that he had on the managerial spot in professional wrestling history. Um,
I met him a few times. He was a very nice guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
and seeing him like before he died, like I never really knew what he looked like,
Yeah,
and then I saw a picture of him on one of the WrestleMania videos a few months back. I'm like I almost wanted to cry for the condition he was in because
Right.
like I haven't seen or heard of Bobby Heenan. Like I thought, hopefully one day, like it was in the thought of my mind, like what if Bobby Heenan makes a return? And then like I wondered why it never happened, and then I saw the picture. I'm like, oh my god, God rest his soul. But the reason why he's favored, like he was the best. He got the best guys. Everybody in the Heenan family was a
Mhm.
success.
yeah.
So it's just,
I mean, I have to say Paul Heyman's right up there alongside him, man.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman.
oh wow, now you're gonna make my ECW side. come
Yeah,
out,
I
man.
mean, but Paul Heyman, I mean, he's right there too, man.
I'd have to
I
s-
know you have to agree.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman's gonna go down as one of the best managers, also.
He's today's Bobby Heenan, if you ask me.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about Vicky Guerrero? She accomplished a lot though.
Well, yeah. I mean, going through her husband's death and overcoming that. I mean,
Trying
that
to
was a
support
big.
the family too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Don't forget Lou Albano.
yeah, Captain
Yeah.
Love,
Jimmy Hart.
Mhm.
He's the man that really wanted to make me take a megaphone to school every day.
So Donnie, I mean, I've known some of the places where you work, but where have you been working?
SWF Superstars of Wrestling Federation
Yeah.
Live. I used to. The company's not around anymore. They changed their names. And
Mhm.
I used to work for a Jersey Championship Wrestling,
Mhm.
but now it got changed to Game Changer Wrestling.
Right.
I'm working with the United Wrestling Coalition (UWC).
Mhm.
I'm actually working with the Brawl Bloody Rage American Wrestling League.
Right.
I'll be making my debut for them
Who
on
who runs that promotion?
Jersey Hurricane, Mick Bronson.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be making my debut for them at Cherry Hill West High School on April 28th. It's a Saturday night.
Nice.
And then I work for Coastal Championship Wrestling.
Coastal. Yeah.
They're based in Sterling.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, so I mean, out of all of them, which ones do you like? Are you most comfortable as of late?
I mean, SWF, Rob Fury really, gave me my start, managing,
Yeah.
all these guys like Tommy Dreamer, the Sandman, Just Incredible,
Absolutely.
the
Just
Great
like
Khali,
76, bro.
Yeah.
So
We're gonna have Rob on next week, next Wednesday
Yeah.
at 2 p.m. And Rob's Rob. I
Yeah.
always say Rob.
Yeah.
Rob is Rob. You
Just
know?
like Elvis, brother. 76.
Exactly.
Shout out to Rob Fury. We love you, brother.
And I always give Rob a lot of props, man, because he gave me my start back in
Yeah,
the
same
business
with me,
too.
yeah.
What was your most memorable moment with SWF?
Probably like the manager fights between me and Medic, and just
And that only happened this past year. I mean,
Yeah, it was
you've
recently,
been
yeah.
with Rob for a while, though, right?
Yeah, I started with him January of 2015, and like 2 or 3 years. Yeah. managing the Great
Yeah.
Khali. He
How
was.
was that?
Dude,
Oh
that
my god.
no,
I remember I was at I don't know if it was the same exact show we were at. We did it when the Great Khali was there in Avenel. Like, I looked like I saw the size of the man's hand, and I really like I was so scared I was gonna crap my pants the size of
Well,
his
you know
hand.
what it is, man. In my boots, I'm roughly about 5'9", 5'10". Okay, I wasn't even in my boots, and I'm at my average height, and I came up to the man's waist. Okay, this I didn't even know who I felt like a tree walked in the venue and walked past me. I'm like, what was that? And I look up, and there's this tall
The
guy,
Punjabi
yeah, yeah.
Playboy.
and I'm just like, wow.
Like, hi, nice to
And-
meet you.
And then
Like I
And
saw
then-
him
and then-
come through the door, and like he had the duck, and then when when he didn't have the duck no more, he was like, his hair was literally like nooking the ceiling. I'm like,
And then he-
I
and-
just froze.
and
Like,
then he
I
had-
didn't know what to
and
do.
then he had the hair he had to get in a ring that night, right? Did he not?
Yeah. It was an in-ring segment. I walked him out.
I feel bad for the guy
Oh.
who chopped.
I mean, Donnie, how was it that you being you, and then you're standing next to the Great Khali,
I was just.
who is just out of WWE? I mean, how does that?
Just
How's
felt
that?
like-
How are those feelings, man? I wonder, like, how do you feel to be able to work with these people?
Just watching them on TV and just getting to work with them. It's just like.
I mean, I get excited because my next show with SWF, I'm wrestling against Tony Atlas.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you work
Yeah, I
with,
work-
you work with Tony Atlas.
God, I work
I
with
mean,
everyone.
I get excited, when I hear a name that I'm working. I mean, but you're this is like regular for you, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's like
do
showing.
you still get excited?
Yeah, I get more nervous than excited, but it's
Yeah,
just like it's a great feeling though.
yeah, That's great, man. I mean,
Too many names.
so what's your like main role now over at like UWC and
I'm actually managing. I'm managing one of the independent legends, Jersey Shore Man Slayer.
oh Slayer, yeah. That's awesome. Like you were managing him when I versed him at SWF.
I've been with him.
That was when
Yeah.
isn't that when the feud with Medic started, right? With that
Yeah.
that was that match.
Yeah, because Medic came out of nowhere and attacked me, and then he
Yeah.
gave me the spear.
Yeah.
I think that was the first time I ever got booked with SWF when I was a referee or something like that.
Yeah, Greg Groove.
Oh man, Greg Groove's first referee appearance. If you buy the Five Guys Fight Night DVD for SWF, feel free to roast me on my wrestling or not wrestling, my referee skills, because I swear, like seeing myself on tape, I just wanted to slap myself in the face. I really wanted to cry to Earl Hebner and tell him I'm sorry for doing such a shitty job.
So Donnie, what is your plan for like the future, man? What do you plan on
Just
doing later on, man? Are you still gonna manage? Are you plan on wrestling? I mean, what is your plans?
I'm probably gonna, manage, on occasionally, but, I limited my bookings right now because I just wanna, try to like better myself, in the wrestling business. I'm actually going to be training with the Jersey Shore Hurricane McBronson.
Okay.
He's actually got a
Yeah.
wrestling school in Cherry Hill,
Okay.
so I'll be there. So it's
That's sweet, man.
Amen. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Donnie.
definitely.
you.
Congrats, man. I mean, I never knock somebody that always wants to better themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing in this business, and you hear it everywhere. I say it all the time. I say it to you. I say it to everybody I work with, and they all say it to me. In this business, you never stop
Stop learning,
learning
yeah.
at all. I mean,
Arn Anderson, the grumpy old man, that lives, breathes, and eat wrestling ever since the 70s, is still learning to this day about athletic moves and what the younger guys today can combine into what leads into what. Psychology, everything
Yeah.
is always changing, and that's another thing about wrestling that always makes people learn.
yeah, exactly.
so what is your thoughts on like seminars, Donnie? Like if you were to speak to somebody who's just getting in the business, I mean, what would you tell them? I mean, if they want to be a manager, if they want to be a wrestler, I mean,
like,
in your own opinion, I want to hear like what would you say to them?
I mean, like, don't make the same mistakes that I've made in the business. I would just, you know, look up, you know, a local wrestling school and just take it from there.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. You know, it's better to be trained than not trained.
Exactly.
I mean, have you ever seen anybody get hurt majorly in like a match? Like they really got hurt because they worked with somebody that wasn't like fully trained?
I mean, it depends. You know, I've worked so many shows, so it's really,
Mhm.
you know, hard.
I've can tell you that I've seen multiple shows where, you know, somebody who wasn't trained at all, you know, try and work a match. Actually, I'm not gonna put names out there, but one of my first few SWF matches, I think you were there for this one, Donnie, if I remember. I was teamed up with you know, Mikey P,
Okay.
and we were versing, you know, another wrestler, and then somebody who was still fresh, like really green, you
Yeah.
know. And this kid tried to do a few moves to me, and like I felt my neck twisting. I was like, nope,
Wasn't
nope,
that your first match?
no, that wasn't my first. My first match was with SWF was the Gauntlet
Okay, yeah,
in
yeah.
Manahawkin, yeah.
Okay.
But this is like one of my first few matches with SWF,
I think it was at Bayville.
yes,
Yeah, it was at that VFW. I remember that.
yeah, and I can tell you this kid did not know what he was doing, but you know, you live and you learn. You live
Exactly,
and you learn.
yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna sit here and knock him, but you know,
You learn from your mistakes.
get trained, go to
Yeah.
a school, and you know, do it the right way.
Exactly.
So, um, so Donnie, I'm not gonna keep you long, man. So, like, where can you know everybody out there, you know, look for you, find you,
I mean,
if they want to get bookings? I
I mean,
mean,
as of right now, I'm just on Facebook. Just look up, you know, my real name, Donnie, Donnie, because everybody spells it wrong. They always put the
with the
Y.
Y.
You
That's
know.
because everybody's so used to spelling it the Ninja Turtle way.
Oh yeah. I'll start using that Donny.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can find me on Donnie Jackson, Donnie, and then my last name Jackson, Jackson.
Just
Right.
like my
On
brother.
I'm just on Facebook right now, but I'll probably, you know,
I would
eventually do
definitely. I mean,
Twitter,
yeah, definitely get on
Instagram,
Twitter, Instagram.
Periscope, you know.
Yeah, get on it all, man.
Snapchat, all
I'm
that.
telling you, they're all gonna want to find you, man. I'm telling you. So do you have any like shout outs or you know future shows you want to mention that's coming up?
Just I want to thank, you know, all the promoters, you know, for actually booking me.
Mhm.
And you can actually find me Saturday night, January 13th, at a United Wrestling Coalition. It's going to be at a Kelly's Bar / Banquet Hall in Wrightstown, New Jersey. You're actually on that show.
Yeah. So you can find this at Kelly's Bar Banquet Hall in Wrightstown, New Jersey at UWC, January 13th. You can find Donnie.
They actually have their Facebook page. It's called UWC Fan Cave.
Okay.
You could actually find like all their shows. They actually run like
And,
monthly
and that's on
shows.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Let's
that's
just
on
hope we
Facebook.
don't blow all of our money at the bar that night. Good.
So, all right, Donnie, I appreciate you
All right,
coming on,
thank you so
man.
much.
All right, take it easy, bro.
Donnie,
Thanks for coming
thanks a
on.
bunch, man.
Thank you guys.
All right.
There's no selling you.
No Cell City.
So yeah, man, that was Donnie Jackson. You know, great guy, man, awesome. I really appreciate him coming out. I'm not sure. Are we able to take phone calls, Gene?
Absolutely.
Amen.
Where's the number?
I'll put it right up for you, buddy.
All right, we're gonna put the number up there for you guys to see. I'm gonna shout it out once I see it because I didn't memorize it yet.
I'll tell you,
So-
It's 609 807 2492.
There you go. There it is. You heard it from the man himself.
Doc.
yeah, another doc, right?
There it is. 609-807-2492. If you want to call in, ask some questions, you know, anything. If you want to ask us anything, please call up, and we're down to listen. We're down to answer all your questions. So I'm pretty stoked, man. I'm stoked for the next shows coming up, man. UWC, you know, I've never worked with UWC. I've heard good things. I heard it's a very like old fashioned type wrestling
I have
environment.
heard that.
You
Like
know,
very golden age or golden years era feel, kind of like.
yeah, and I'm excited, man. You know, I advise you to come out to that show.
I definitely will.
So
Like,
yeah,
I'll see about transportation, but I am definitely going to see whatever I can do. We'll talk on personal time about it
Yeah.
as far as transportation goes and stuff
In
like
the
that.
meantime, I'm gonna put some. I'm gonna announce some upcoming shows for SWF. On February 16th, we have SWF returns to Jackson, New Jersey for No Love Lost, and on that we have WWE Hall of Famer Tony Atlas. He will be going in a tag match. It'll be Tony Atlas and Matthias Glass versus yours truly, Ace Marksman with Clay Sawyer. Two wild and crazy guys.
Greg Groove, special guest referee.
Then we have American Made Saturday, February 17th, the next day. I love doing American Made. I did American Made for SWF one time last year, and the cause that they do it for is amazing. They what SWF does, they raise money to bring our fallen soldiers home from overseas, because not I guess our government doesn't have that funding, so it's
Let's not even go there.
yeah, I'm not going to touch that subject. I'm sure Gene will at some
Oh,
point.
please.
But I love the cause, and again, you got to thank Rob Fury, man.
Amen.
For doing this cause to bring our soul soldiers home. It touches me personally. Me being a fellow soldier at one
Amen.
point. It really means a lot, and it's just a great cause. So I would advise you guys, man, if you want to see some awesome action for a great cause, come out to American Made SWF February 17th at the Barnegat American Legion in Barnegat, New Jersey. Definitely come check that out. It's going to be an awesome event.
Amen.
So Greg, what do you got for ECW? What topic do you have today?
Oh, right on the spot right away. Let's talk about the catchphrase, or one of the catchphrases. Join the revolution.
Oh boy.
Join the revolution for ECW was not just a catchphrase. It was a way of life. Because if you really want to get technical about it, ECW started the Extreme Revolution. Because if you ask me, how WCW took the cruiserweights.
So you mean backyard wrestling didn't start the Extreme Revolution?
No, unfortunately not. Unfortunately not, because backyard wrestling wasn't able to be uploaded to what?
I'm sorry to cut you off, man, but do you remember when do you remember when backyard wrestling was a thing though?
Yeah, back in like the early 2000s.
They made a video game out of it.
Two
Two video games, okay, and you know about video games, so you should know which two of those are. I mean, they made at the time, you young kids would know, but VHS tapes, backyard wrestling. There was VHS tapes of backyard wrestling that you could buy. Soon DVDs you could buy.
There was also video games, and still to this day, even YouTube channels that have a cult fan following as far as like ESW. Rest in peace, Wicked J. You will always be a fallen homie, my juggalo friend. Rest in Shangri-La peacefully.
I didn't understand why. Why I understand why, but they always said don't they would put that little thing, don't try this at home, but yet they were allowing it to be sold to the public.
See, the funny thing about don't try this at home is now that I actually have been trained. I mean, I may not be the best, but I have been trained enough to know how to take a fall. If you guys watch Grimm's Toy Show, you should definitely know I know how to take a fall. But no, on a serious note, it's like, wherever you are, whatever you do, please do not try this at home. I'm allowed to now.
It's pretty.
Like that's what I like every time they say that. I just can't help it. It's like, haha, I'm allowed to.
But what do you say to kids that are sitting home now that aren't trained, like being on Grimm's Toy Show, okay? And I'm gonna put this out there, and Grimm will be a guest on the show this month on the 17th.
Amen.
You can catch him here. But being on Grimm's Toy Show has also, besides SWF, has also given me a platform, okay, to stand on, okay, and I have a following, you have a following, and we get these 13, 14. I mean, I even got 12-year-olds and sometimes 16, 17-year-olds who are asking me, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? My first reaction is get trained, get trained.
See
Like,
me
but what do
like
you say to them though, who want to try it, who do try it at home? Like, what do you? I mean, what is
for those
what is
who
your opinion on that?
for those who try it at home without the supervision of a trained professional, um, if you visually can comprehend and successfully comprehend how to pull the move off, more power to you. Just make sure you're at least around a trained professional. But if you do it with no training experience whatsoever, or without the knowledge or the supervision of a trained professional, if you die and break your neck, I'm gonna laugh at you.
It's crazy, man. I just never got the hypocrisy of that. And I was young too when I'm not gonna lie, I did backyard wrestling when I was like 14 years old.
See, I never did backyard, but growing up, my brother, who was born in 1988, just in the beginning of WCW, like when Jim Crockett Promotions sold it to Ted Turner, the year. My brother was born in '88, my oldest brother, and every weekend we came over, it was nothing but wrestling, rap, and metal all day, every day. All we were able to do was just wrestle. Me being the youngest of the bunch, of course, I was gonna be the one getting put in the walls of Jericho and choke slammed on the bed and shit like that. So it's not really much. So like, I get it, but like, I never wanted to do any of the moves. Like, surprisingly, but now I'm at the time where I want to start getting myself a little bit more seriously, and I know I'm going a million miles off topic with this, but yeah, that's the power of AD. That's the power of ADD, man. Mental illnesses suck, but anyway,
It's great.
but dead serious, like guys, if you kill yourselves trying this stuff at home, I'm probably gonna laugh at you because you were stupid about it. But in the same sense, please don't do it because I don't want to have to laugh at dead people. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and like I said, man, the hypocrisy is what always got me. But anyways,
I
I'm
wonder
sorry to
how
cut you off with your ECW rant there.
Yeah,
Your
but
way of
one
life.
more thing before I go back to it, I wonder how much hate mail I'm gonna get for telling people that if they try this at home and they die, I'm gonna laugh.
I don't know.
I don't know,
You'll
but back
find
to
out.
Join the Revolution. Join the Revolution. As far as the extreme storylines, the reality of catching up and what was in that time today, in that time of that today in the '90s, it was real. Like WCW, they didn't bring in the cruiserweights. ECW did. WWE, or no, WCW and then WWE, or
Right.
back then known as WWF. Um, you know, uh, if you really want to get technical, I would look at your dates and see who did what first, because as far as I was concerned, the real extreme storylines really started picking up in about 1992 to 1993. Was Monday Night Raw around in 1992?
Exactly.
Was WCW was around in 1992. However, were they doing anything extreme? No. Did anybody know what a cruiserweight was? No. If it wasn't for Paul Heyman, we wouldn't have the cruiserweight division because Paul Heyman actually sat there, took the time to see the talents of other promotions from other countries. Because everybody was always so worried about the American people or the American style of wrestling with the huge giants not wanting to put up with the smaller guys because they thought it didn't make sense. And the psychology of the business at that time was a lot different than it is today. But
Can I chime in on that?
yes.
How you said it about the Giants? It wasn't there a rumor that Kevin Nash didn't said that anybody that was shorter than him wasn't classified as a wrestler? Wasn't that a rumor? that he said
You'd
that?
have to ask him or Scotty, bro.
Because I gotta swear I heard that there was a thing where
That was probably him in his creative control days of WCW and the NWO, but like I don't know the guy from a hole in the wall on a personal level, but knowing his character, I wouldn't doubt it. As in how he was in the NWO, I wouldn't doubt it
right.
if he actually said it, whether he meant it or not. Like I said, I don't know the guy on a personal level, but I don't know. But like I said in the Join the Revolution part, there is so many things that ECW started that WWE and WCW had to follow to attract an audience. Smart on both behalves of WCW and WWE. But the revolution all started with ECW. So,
Well, knowing with you saying that, what do you feel? I mean, I'm gonna touch back on SWF again
all right.
because SWF is known to bring in ECW guys, and you know this personally.
Amen.
you
First
know?
guy I ever got to talk to was Tommy Dreamer, like having the most casual conversation ever. Just shy, you like my first SWF show, January 20th, 2017, New Year's Revolution
Retribution.
or Retribution.
Right.
Oh, that's right. Revolution was the WWE pay-per-view. Anyway, first famous guy, here I am, an ECW fanboy, actually getting to be less than a foot away from Tommy Dreamer, having the most casual conversation about Yonkers, New York, and other indie guys out there, and how all the other guys were in the locker room, and it's just like, wow, like I'm actually talking to Tommy Dreamer, like I'm actually talking to somebody that I idolized.
Right.
And then the next night, it's Sandman, who I honestly swear to God idolized between literally sneaking Budweisers into school in the 6th grade and breaking them over my head and making myself bleed. Breaking apples, hitting people. Like, I literally, this one kid pissed me off so bad in school that, like, God forgive me still to this day, even as much as I've apologized for it, but there was this kid who was on crutches, and he was sitting down, and I'm like, yo, can I borrow this real quick? And I straight up, literally, even though it wasn't a kendo stick or a Singapore cane, sorry, Sandman, for, I know either or, it's the same thing, but I prefer to say Singapore cane out of respect for ECW. I literally just straight up clotheslined the kid with holding the crutch like this, just ramming him like I was JBL for a minute. And then I just kept whacking him like Sandman, dude. Like,
Oh God.
guys, like that's what I lived off of. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was growing up, I was a very violent person because of personal issues that are way too off topic and stuff like that. But guys, like, the land of, as ECW calls them, the land of the misfits that all got somewhere. And aside from the revolution, another thing, or a lot of things that the number one question I always get asked is, who do I see myself most like in ECW as far as character development and storyline wise, and how my character's being brought up? It's all different. For how my character's upbringing is, I honestly feel like I have a Mikey Whipwreck type of storyline. The guy who could take a bump and the crowd would just sympathize for him and feel for him and just want him to win so bad. And then all of a sudden he gets put in a World Heavyweight Championship ladder match with the Sandman and he wins. And the crowd goes friggin' ballistic.
Right.
Personality-wise, there's quite, it's two answers, but a little bit of both of these people. As in, Raven and Brian Pillman. Excuse me. Taco Bell's starting to kick in.
Brian Pillman.
Yeah, but no, the Brian Pillman for the insanity factor of how I am. How Brian Pillman was the loose cannon, uncensored, this, that, and the third. I remember there was a couple times I actually went uncensored for something that was not really a curse word, but something that was against YouTube guidelines. Not once, but twice, and I felt so bad that we couldn't get any advertisements for GTS for it. But yeah, and for as far as Raven goes, probably just the mysterious personality of me. Like, how is this guy? Like, he's just so creepy. Like, he's dark and
loved
mysterious.
I loved Raven.
I know.
I loved his whole gimmick, man.
Though, but I would have to say, probably, once again, touching back on ECW, the only angle that I can honestly say that I would not be able to watch without crying in ECW, as in for an emotional field. Remember that whole angle with Raven and the Sandman's son?
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Didn't and didn't WWE did like kind of similar
with
thing.
With
Guerrero.
Dominic and
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero for the
Guerrero,
custody
yeah.
battle ladder
Yeah.
shit
Yeah, you
or
remember
ladder
that?
match.
It's funny how things are reused. Everything's recycled.
Yeah.
Like the storylines and you know me the way I feel about it is a reused storyline. It can either be good or it could be really bad. Me personally, I think they with all due respect, these guys get paid enough money to write a story, write something original, write something good, write something that today's audience is going to want to watch.
That's very true, but however, from a creative standpoint, everything you write on paper does not really everything you write on paper that really sounds good
It
doesn't always work out to be how it sounds on the
Oh,
paper.
without a doubt. And that's the thing about the indies. I mean, you got these promoters that are going for, a certain storyline, with certain guys, but then you got these workers, who feel okay, well, we're not getting paid enough to do this, so we're gonna do whatever the hell we want to do. And then what happens there? Everything goes out the window, and shit just doesn't make sense.
Exactly. WCW. That's the only thing I could say on that note.
I mean, even in the indies that I've worked for recently, it's happened. I've seen it happen with certain workers, and you got workers that don't show up, and then what happens?
They miss out on their training. They miss out on their ring time. They don't get to excel themselves.
It's not even just that. They're screwing over the promoter. They're screwing over the fans that come there to see a certain match.
And in the long run, they're gonna screw over themselves because if you want you got people that want to see you, and you got somebody that's willing to give you the time for half the people to see you.
We're getting a call, bro.
You are getting a call, yep. There you go.
That come there to see a certain match.
And in the long run, live on Ace Marksman's Black Target because if you want you got people that want to see you, and you got somebody that's willing to give you the time for half the people to see you.
Hello?
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 That come there to see.
Hello? Hey, what's up,
And
bro?
in the long run, we are here at Ace Marksman's Black Target because if you want you got people that want to see you, and you got somebody that's willing to give you the time for half the people to see you.
Hey, you there, bud?
Hello?
Hello?
That come there to see.
Hello? Hey, what's up,
And in
bro?
the long run, we are
He's
here.
hearing it over and over again. Well, let me do a quick shout out real quick, guys.
Guys, I got two shout outs for you. One is Cutting Edge Radio Network. The guy in Arizona, Rob D. Shribner, is listening and listening to the show. Thumbs up.
Amen.
All right, thank you.
And
Thank you, Rob.
Louis Cedeno, DJ Friction at 1029 DLG Radio in Florida, is also listening. Thumbs up.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank
Shout
you.
out to you
Thank
guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it very much.
Trying to
So-
get back to the call.
Shribner is listening and listening to the show. Thumbs
They're
up.
just-
Amen.
All right, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Rob.
Louis
Just kill it.
Cedeno.
Just kill it. Like I was saying, man. As far as the promotion, I mean, you're that if workers, man, they're screwing over the promotion. They're screwing over, the fans. I mean, you got to think about it, man. You got paying fans that are there to see a certain match, a certain wrestler, and then what happens is that guy goes and screws it all up.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, unfortunately, the world's like that, and you're gonna have people like that. But at the same sense, here's the thing, though. The only way I can understand that is if the wrestler themselves is actually worth, like, if deep down in their heart they really know for a fact, instead of just feeling like it, that they can do better or should be doing better, then I can understand it. But like, all right, here's the deal. Say if you got somebody with at least a minimum of anywhere's in between.
We're getting another call.
All right, caller.
Hold on with that. There you go. Did we get this one? Okay.
Hello.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, I just called my phone. It was glitching out, but I got a question for you.
Go
What's
for
up?
All right. Has there ever been a time, like, backstage where someone snaked somebody that they're facing and they didn't want to do the match, but it was, like, the night of the match? Kind of like there was a fight and now they don't want to do the match.
Usually what happens with that is they let it build up and build up, and then they just really just go out and have what they call a shoot match. And for the caller, thank you for calling, by the way. For
You're
the
welcome.
caller and everyone else listening out there, for those who don't know what a shoot match is, a shoot match is where you try to go according to plan.
Let me touch base on this. A shoot is pretty much it's if me and Drax right now were to just get up and fist fight.
Like actually hitting each
It's
other.
either that happens or they go to the promoter. Like if you were in school and you and another student were having an argument or disagreement, you guys would go to the principal and be like, listen, I can't sit next to this guy. Is there something we can do? You would either A, be moved to a different match, or B, you would both be fired and thrown out the building, and you guys wouldn't have a match. That's usually really what happens when it comes down to something like that.
Right.
From
So,
like
like,
my
what was
personal
that?
experience.
What would that mean for the person who, like, is running the show? Would they fill it in for, like, a squash match, or?
The only thing that the only thing that I can assume with that is like they would either A, fill in with a match if they got like a couple other extra guys on hand. B, they'd make times a little bit longer for a specific match, such as like the main event. Or
I mean,
the promoter
really-
himself,
it
knowing Rob Fury, or just a promoter in general, will come out and address the audience of the situation of what's going on and let the fans know of what's going
I
on.
don't
And
think,
unfortunately,
honestly, Rob wouldn't do that. Knowing Rob, I mean, I'm not even going to say Rob. The point is, it depends on the promotion, depends on the promoter. If you're a very well established promotion, there's usually a no tolerance policy, and that's it.
but at least I know, like, I only said Rob Fury as in for cutting out and coming to promo, because when doesn't Rob Fury cut a promo? Every time the man talks, he cuts a promo. Rob, we
It's
love you
true.
dearly. We can't wait to have you on the show.
You're still there?
Yeah, I'm there.
All right. So, yeah. I mean, you got any more questions, or what's up?
Yeah, actually, I do. So, based off of GTS now,
I know.
What are
who this is.
your
I know who's on the
thoughts
phone.
about?
Hey, just ask him what he's calling.
Anthony, where are you
What
calling?
is-
From? Where are you calling from, Anthony?
Excuse me,
Where are you calling from, Anthony?
Jersey.
There you go.
I
Thanks, Anthony. I knew it was you.
kind of figured it was you, Riff, but I didn't know.
Exactly. I wanted to see how long it would take you.
I knew it was you at the moment you started talking.
I had a feeling, but I just didn't want to be too sure because there's some kids that sound alike.
Okay, what's the GTS question? Go for it.
So, what is your thoughts about this whole RWA crap and everything? And
I honestly, like I've been telling everybody that's going on between GTS and RWA, I'm staying out of it. Everyone knows where I stand, and that's that.
yeah,
And Drax's point of view of it, Drax will go wherever. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. Like, don't get me wrong, I love GTS to death, but and man, can't be a jobber your whole life. Well, you could, but I just don't want to be.
You are.
No, I'm not.
Well,
Shut up.
Drax, I hate to break it to you, but you most likely are.
Fear the insanity. That's
All
not
right.
funny.
Sorry,
All
not
right,
sorry.
Anthony.
That's not
Appreciate,
funny.
appreciate you calling, bud. Take care.
All right, see you.
Damn, I don't want to go through tables my whole life.
So
At least I'll tell you what. If I ever go through a table on fire, I don't think I'll ever be mad about being a jobber no more.
I'm gonna touch base on that topic again. That that Anthony brought up about with shoot matches and stuff like that. One thing I must say, and I'm gonna give a shout out to Marconi on this one because Marconi made a pretty good Facebook post today that I seen. Is back then people would settle their differences like men face to face, either backstage or in person, whatever. Nowadays, you got people that are so quick to run and hide behind a keyboard and try and destroy somebody.
You mean like the keyboard warrior?
Exactly.
Unsubscribe. I'm sorry, I love that gimmick. It was so awesome.
But that's the thing. Like people are so quick to run and hide behind a keyboard or a computer or whatever. Whatever. They're so quick to hide behind their phone. Period. If you got a problem with somebody, like the way I was brought up, you got a problem with somebody, go to them face to face. Be like, listen, this is my problem with you. This is what's going on. This is what I don't like. What can we do to either fix it or stay out of my way? I mean,
But here's the thing, though. I think I know why that happens. Nobody knows how to pass a note anymore and write down what they want to say.
because it's all like, hold on, let me text you. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's all everybody's all be quick to be behind a keyboard. Like, dude, if you got something going on, like if you got a problem, like let somebody know. Let somebody know. They don't sit there and hide behind a keyboard. Don't hide behind another person. Don't hide behind the promoter. Go to that person and be like, listen, I don't feel comfortable working with you because you've been saying this about me, or I've heard you've done this. That's the problem nowadays. People don't talk to people.
Exactly. See, here's the thing. Like, me personally, if somebody does something I don't like getting done to me in the ring, like, I'll straight up no sell them, and it'll really be a shoot fight. No fucks given.
Yeah, that's what you got to do sometimes, man. Because, I mean, with my experience, I've been in in a ring with somebody who shot on me, who pretty much stiffed me pretty hard, and I'm not gonna go and bash your name out there, but which is why I never work them in the ring again, and if I do, it's going to be a fist fight. Because this person already knows, like I said, with me, I talk to somebody. These other people don't know how to say something to somebody. They let it build up and they drag that drama out to the ring, which sometimes isn't a bad thing. I mean,
Because it develops the storyline of like, oh my god, this actually works, and the people are going nuts.
they're like, oh my god, did he really just punch him in the face? Yeah, he really just punched him in the face. It happens. It happens. It really, I can go on about that topic forever because that topic can touch on everyday life situations and
Exactly. And back to where ECW joined the revolution. Real storylines is what it was all about. Like, I'm sorry to go back to that, but it's a very valid point.
Touch base on it. Go ahead.
Didn't I do that already?
If you got more, fill it in, man.
I mean, I don't really have too much more on Join the Revolution, but any other topics for the last 10, last 11 minutes?
We can take more calls if they want to call in. 609-807-8255. 2492 609 807 2492. It's right there at the bottom of the screen. If you're not watching the live stream, you can, if you're listening to us, 609 807 2492.
There's no shows after this, guys, so you got time. You know, I give you extra time if people want to call
Hey, yeah,
in. So
whatever,
go ahead
whatever they
and
want to
call
do,
in.
whatever they want to do, yeah, call in, man.
Alrighty.
I'm down. I'm
So
down.
let's go as far as who is one superstar? Okay, here's a better topic as far as ECW goes, and this is something that actually will be the topic of the callers for people that call in. Let's go with this topic. Who in today's WWE, as far as from 2010 until right now, do you believe would have survived or have been a legend in the original ECW from 1993 or from 1992, I should say, if we're going back as far as Eastern Championship Wrestling to 2001?
Honestly, my opinion, Randy Orton.
Why is that?
Randy Orton. I mean, the guy could take a lot of pain, bro.
Amen. And also, who does Randy Orton give you that vibe of from anybody in the original ECW?
Oh man,
Because I can tell you one guy he gives me the vibe of, and who is also another ECW guy I got to meet.
you know who Randy Orton kind of reminds me of, man? Justin Credible.
I was gonna say the franchise Shane Douglas in a way, as far as legend killer Randy Orton.
Okay, yeah, okay, I can see where you're going with that. You know, not to mention, fun fact about Justin Credible. I met his mother one time. Back in 2001, you know, my grandma passed away. My mom was going to, you know, she was dealing with some therapy, and we were sitting down. We were, you know, I was, you know, of course, I was dragged along with her. We're sitting there, and his mom actually overheard me, you know, talking wrestling. I forgot who I was talking to. I think some other kid that was there, but we were talking wrestling, like WWF at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "Oh, well, my son's a wrestler." I said, "Oh, really? Who is he?" And she told me Justin Credible. I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I was blown away, you know, because then I was following ECW, you know.
Yes, because 2001. There's part of me that also feels another thing with ECW. There's part of me that was very happy for the rebirth of the show. Don't get me wrong, because it gave the younger audience at that time a small taste, and I say small, very enthusiastically, but seriousness to it. A very small dose of what it was like in the original ECW. And of course, you're going to have your new guys that were brought up throughout the new ECW, but there's part of me that thinks the reboot should have been never happened, but and it's only for the simple factor of
It was. I mean, I would have left it where it was personally, because I feel the reboot was very, very. I guess you would say PG.
yeah.
It wasn't extreme like it was.
Like, don't get me wrong, there wasn't a lot of like rated R NC-17 moments, like, you know, Kimona coming out and doing a striptease because the ring couldn't be put together, you know. But however, there was
It was.
a very good few wrestlers that were brought up, you know. A couple guys I've even met from the new ECW. Well, really only one, which
What it was to me. It was just WWE TLC. Is all it was to me. That's what WWE's reboot of ECW was, just
TLC for an
a
hour.
TLC, exactly.
But that's another thing that really pissed me off about that, believe it or not, was the fact that it only came on for an hour. And I'm like, yo, are they really doing this now? Like, are they really trying to do this how it was on Sunshine Network?
it
Like,
was-
they're only giving them like TV. They're treating them just like they were on TNN.
It
You know,
was the
they only got
redheaded
1 hour.
stepchild. It was
Yeah, they only got 1 hour, not a single commercial on that product to promote the show. They promised them, you know, Paul a whole shitload of money, and then $100 million went to Vince McMahon. Like, if you ask me, Paul Heyman cutting that TNN promo, and, you know, actually, you know, going on the mic and calling TNN a bunch of pig fuckers, that was awesome. Like, I was like, yo, did he really just say that?
But that's that's what makes a show. And I hate to keep bringing up SWF, but I actually I don't hate it because it's it's home to me. But I feel like SWF gives that ECW vibe.
It definitely does.
And if I remember, I'm pretty sure Rob will touch base on it. Will correct me if I'm wrong. But this year, Rob's going basically rated R with SWF. He's actually gonna try and give it that feel. And why not?
The grungy dim.
Nobody's doing it now. Everybody's so quick to be like, oh, we have to run our indie promotions PG because we have to worry about what the kids are gonna say. Why are you bringing your 7-year-old to an event where these guys are beating each other up? Why are you bringing your child to an event where somebody's getting thrown off a ladder through a table?
Why are you going to bring your child to an event where there's language that you don't use at home that that it's bound to happen with the audience, especially if somebody goes for a move and they don't do it right? You fucked up. You fucked up.
Exactly.
That's bound to happen.
It's gonna happen.
There's bound to be a 5-year-old that's going to be chanting along with it, and I'm going to watch that 5-year-old saying "you fucked up," and laugh my ass off. But it's cute and adorable.
Yeah, but and that's the thing. That's man. Like I could talk about this forever because parents are so quick to be like, oh, I don't want my kid to hear that, but you're allowing your kid to tune into WWE every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time,
and allowing them to stay up till 11 o'clock,
allowing them to watch it, but yet you're bringing them to you're afraid for them to go to a live event to hear that. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It's all hypocritical. That's why I say wrestling lost a lot of its magic from then to now because it was live events that made it more magical for me.
Exactly.
It was the magic that of Hulk Hogan firing up. It was all of the Federation era and the Attitude era, all that combined in one is what did it for me.
Exactly.
To want to be in the business.
What did it for me being in the business was just seeing the things that the human body could do to just impress so many millions of people.
Yeah.
And just being that guy that's crazy enough to, running power slam somebody through the ring or
that was great.
jump or take a fall from a fucking 35-foot scaffolding and land on a crap load of wires at SummerSlam, or even if it's a 50-foot scaffolding and you're doing a swanton bomb off of it. The insane stunts and the storylines of how reality based it is, and being the fact of when the heels bring that huge valid point and you think the heel is right, and then the face just comes in and says that one little thing to shut them down. That's the magic that people, it's still there, but people just don't give it a chance.
Yeah, I guess I could see that point. I mean, that's why I'm excited for 2018 for SWF because Rob is taking it to that next level of gonna give the fans more. I mean, come on, that last hardcore match at the last SWF show, you were there.
When I heard Rob say, literally, when I heard Rob say, "Don't say beat him up, say fuck him up," I was like, yo, did he really just say fuck on the show?
Yeah, because he's pushing the envelope now. I mean, look at the hardcore match again. There was the barbed wire chair, light tubes, cake. Somebody brought in a cake for Rob's birthday, and that the cake ended up everywhere.
And especially
thumbtacks, tables,
Legos,
doors, Legos.
I tell you what though, I feel more comfortable getting slammed on thumbtacks than Legos.
Yeah, Legos hurt.
Yeah,
they do hurt, man.
I mean, don't get me wrong, thumbtacks hurt when you step on them, but they're not as bad as stepping on a Lego. Because Lego's got them corners that get right underneath the whole bottom of your foot, instead of just that one little prick. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm excited for this year, man.
Amen,
dude.
I really. And I honestly have to say I am very excited for this year because like I've said in the last episode, I had a bunch of personal issues going on that I let get in the way of professionalism with my wrestling career, and I feel like a flat out idiot for it. And when I finally came back to the last show of the year with SWF, and I was welcomed back with open arms, and before I left and we got done putting the ring together, I just got told, you're welcome back anytime. I actually felt happy inside, like I felt warm inside, like I still have a chance to better myself and grow with this company that opened their arms to me, and not even just open their arms to me, let me, talk to the veterans. They let me get free autographs. They let me run around the ring and be in character. They let me run around ringside and be in character and interact with the fans. And they're actually giving me the time to train me to wrestle for free.
Yeah.
And at the time I was blind and let my personal emotions get in the way. And there have been a lot of people, and like I said, personal issues really suck, especially since I'm going through some right now, but I'm not going to let that get on the topic of the show. But SWF, I got a lot of love and respect for it. Rob Fury, love you just like Elvis, brother. 76. Uncle Cletus, I don't drink that moonshine. Charles Monsoon, you need to get in the ring, you big ass bastard. But I love all you guys to death. Everybody in the locker room. I understand I'm the oddball, but every promotion needs that one guy. Come on now.
So yes, so definitely, man, just follow through with it. And we're gonna talk more about SWF. Come up January 10th, we are gonna have Rob Fury here in RC. He will be our next target. So make sure you tune in January 10th. Then following the 10th, we have Grim from Grimm's Toy Show, January 17th. Make sure you guys tune in for that. And if you are not down with that, we have
got 3 words for you. Eat it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Take care, guys.
Okay, you're clear. You get your-
Good show, dude.
Good show, man.
Sweet.